So, the deal of the day is to find out if a Makita electric chainsaw is good enough for milling lumber. So what I have here is a Stihl Ms 391 without the eye that came originally with the Logosol that I bought secondhand. And then I bought this Makita UC4050A new, and the important thing is that there are UCXX51 and UCXX50As, and the difference between the 0 and 1 is the bar attachment. You need the one with bolts attaching the bar. You can discard obviously the Makita bolts and use the Logosol bolts, but this unit is not available from Finland. It's not in the local import program, so I had to order it from Lithuania, which was, thanks to internet, very easy. The steel is 3.3 kilowatts, which is probably the actual output power measured at the axle, and this is 2 kilowatts, which is the input power measured at the plug, and the output power measured at the axle is not provided. It's probably 70 to 90% of the input power. I think I maybe heard somewhere that the output power from this would be 1800 watts, but this is I can't confirm it, and if it would be that would be extremely high efficiency. This probably runs a universal AC motor, which are not the most efficient ones. Obviously it's still more efficient than a brushed DC motor, but not by a large margin. So the steel only runs by itself with gasoline, and for the Makita I need a battery and an inverter, since I'm milling in an island that has absolutely zero infrastructure. Getting a electric connection here would be 20 to 30,000 euros, which is just not going to happen. It's going to be way more cheaper to get a lot of batteries and solar power. What I have here is a 48 volt 100 amp hours lithium polymer battery, which gives slightly less than 5 kilowatt hours of juice, and then from Amazon a 200 euro inverter, which gives 2500 watts and 5000 watts peak, and this should be enough to run the Makita saw. Comparing to the saws, the Makita is way less powerful at 2 kilowatts minus the efficiency number, and the steel at 3.3 kilowatts is much higher. But in Makita's defense, electric motors have way more torque than gasoline motors. So since we are not measuring the chain speed, which is way higher on the steel than on the Makita, the important part in milling is torque, and this probably puts the Makita a little bit higher than the steel saw. Why would I try to use the Makita with this 45 kilo thing that I have to lumber haul to the island? Well, two reasons. First, breathing two-stroke fumes is not healthy. It doesn't do anything good for you. So I'd rather not breathe the exhaust fumes. Also, the noise with this is terrible. I have a Bluetooth hearing protection set, and I cannot listen anything, because even though I'm wearing hearing protectors, they still make so much noise that it can't be used. The Makita, on the other hand, it's not wise to use it without hearing protectors, but it's at least it doesn't hurt your ears. I'm still going to use hearing protectors, but for an example, I can listen to music or audiobooks. And when I need to mill lumber for a cabin, that's a lot of milling. So I'd rather spend my time being intellectually challenged. And by that I don't mean that the sawmill would be difficult to use. Also, it's much cheaper to use Makita since it doesn't use any fuel. I already had the battery for my electric boat, so actually the battery didn't cost me anything. If I would need to buy a battery, it would be 5 kilowatt hours of lithium battery with the inverter from Amazon to Finland, including Finnish VAT, would be around 1,000 euros, slightly more probably. But it's still, lithium batteries are so cheap that it makes sense. And also, I'm eventually going to need a battery and inverter anyway, because when I'm going to build, I'm going to use other power tools. I'm going to charge my Makita battery power tools, so I need this anyway. And that's already more than 2 points. Finally, I've already paid 450 euros servicing this thing because it has failed many times. It's a used machine, so that's fine, but the Makita cost 200 euros. So I've already, with the amount I've spent on servicing this thing, and since it's a gas engine, it's going to be needing servicing anyway. I could have bought 2 Makitas. Electric tools are way more simpler and break down less than the gas powered ones. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find 2 roughly similar size logs, and then I'm going to make equal cuts out of them, equal lumber, and I'm going to measure the time required for the procedure. So, alright, the unsurprising results are in. The steel is much better. With the Makita I could do it, and if I have a lot of time and don't want to breathe in fumes and make a lot of noise, Makita would be good to go. It's probably a very wise choice to make very small cuts, but even 2x4s are really slow to make with Makita, and that's a killer of productivity. So as for electric saws, we still need more powerful ones. 3 kilowatts would be probably in order, and that's unfortunately not available as a corded one. Battery powered 3 kilowatt electric saws there are 2. There is the DeWalt one, and then there's the Stihl one. When making 2x4s, I used 17% of the battery capacity, so that's maybe something like 0.8 kilowatt hours. So that's maybe 3 Stihl MSR 300 batteries. So you would need a lot of batteries to run a battery powered electric saw. Logosol offers an electric saw. The problem is that it's 3-phase, so while it would be a good investment when making a lot of wood by milling, the trouble is that you need 3-phase power, which in an off-grid solution means an inverter of around 3,500 euros, which is a lot more than the 200 euro inverter I just used. So that's about that about wraps it up. You can make do with Makita if you're not really serious about it, but you need a lot of more power than 2 kilowatts to effectively mill logs.